I really wished I could be with you today, but I'm here in my constituency to create and to take care of the connection I have with my community in order to work better when I will come back in Brussels in a few days. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to contribute to this important conversation by sending a video. I speak today not just as a member of the European Parliament, but as someone who knows these challenges firsthand. I come from a rural area, I'm a farmer myself, and I recently became a mother. So believe me when I say that I know about structural barriers women face in agriculture and rural life. I have seen how hard it is for women to access land, finance, and decision-making spaces. I have seen how hard it is for women to access land, finance, and decision-making spaces. I've experienced the lack of basic services, especially reproductive care, and I've seen how policies designed without us in mind make our work and lives harder. I'm also working on this as rapporteur for the Greens for the Parliament's report in the role of cohesion policy in strengthening rural areas. It saddens me to see how difficult it can be in the current political context to talk about gender equality in rural policy. If Europe truly wants sustainable and resilient rural areas, it has to face a political reality. Gender inequality is built into our agricultural system, and current policies do too little to change this. Women are a driving force in rural economies. We run farms, we start businesses, and we lead innovation, but most of our policies still treat us like invisible. The Common Agricultural Policy is a case in point. It claims to promote gender equality under Strategic Objective 8, yet only 5 member states propose concrete measures supporting rural women. Just 2, Ireland and Spain, address women's participation in farming directly. The importance of agriculture to Europe's economy and identity does not exempt it from the responsibility to deliver equality. On the contrary, it increases it. Yet instead of mainstreaming gender across the CAP, we see fragmented efforts, inconsistent policies, and little to no coordination with the other EU funds, such as the cohesion policy of the Social Fund. What we need is a joined-up approach, one that moves beyond rhetoric and applies the EU's commitment to gender equality through concrete actions. That starts with making gender equality a specific objective in the next CAP reform. Every national strategic plan should be required to set gender targets, monitor progress, and report publicly. Wherever there are payments or programs, gender data must be collected, analyzed, and used to reform systems that reinforce inequality. We need to be able to look into structural inequalities like who owns land and who accesses subsidies to get out of the status quo. We also need to establish an observatory to monitor social conditionality, to protect the rights and dignity of agricultural workers, many of whom are women and migrants. Diversity in advisory services must also become a requirement, and maybe we also need quotas. Hard quotas are the only way we will ever reach gender parity in the committees that shape the CAP. If women representatives are not in the room, the policies won't change. Women in rural areas are already leading in organic farming, agritourism, social enterprises, community-led initiatives, but because these sectors are undervalued, women's work is overlooked, and we also lose out on some of our best tools for sustainability and rural resilience. On the contrary, we need targeted support for women-led innovation through dedicated grants and low-interest loans. Finally, we cannot ignore that the broader reality shaping women's lives in rural areas. The lack of basic services, especially reproductive care, healthcare, or childcare facilities, directly undermines women's ability to participate equally in rural economies. When women are forced to travel long distance for essential care, it is not just a health issue, it's a political failure that deepens inequality and pushes women out of this community. As a political group, the Greens have long argued that climate justice, social justice, and gender equality are one fight. And that fight also has to get out Europe's fields, farmers, and rural communities. The question is not whether we can afford to prioritize women-led innovation. The question is, what does it say about our political priorities if we don't? Thank you, and I really wish I was there to discuss this important matter with you, but I'm here with you with my heart, my mind, and my political activity. Thank you very much.